If you're starting over, here's how breast cancer forced me into the deepest rebuild of my entire life. Now, before I get into everything, I want to share two things with you that I wish someone would have told me sooner. One, the real starting point of a rebuild and why joy, not discipline, was the only thing strong enough to bring me back home to myself. Well, I guess those were our two things. But the funny thing is, joy was never new for me. I've always been a joyful kid. I've always been animated, free. I was always outside. I do have an older brother. We're actually 11 years apart. But because he was never really home, I felt like I grew up as an only child, if that makes sense. And who knows where Aaron was. But I mean, hopefully today he's at work. He should be at work. I was always the kid that was just outside in that big field we had next to my house. We were playing with my friends. We would play everything: flag football, kickball, everything. And then inside the house, we had literally a zoo. I had a parakeet named Bobby, my first dog named Thunder, then Eve, and then they had puppies. And we would end up with random dogs people couldn't take care of. So there was always something happening literally in our house. But even with that freedom, I still had structure. Like my dad made me read a newspaper article every night before he would hand me the comment section. Jerome always taught me business before pleasure, and that's something that stuck with me today. So joy has always been the center of who I am, but I didn't expect joy to be the center of how I healed. So ground zero for me wasn't diagnosis day. It was everything that actually came after that: the surgery recovery, moving back home at 15, my identity stripped down to nothing. It felt like the emotional whiplash of thinking, I'm doing great, I'm strong, I'm fine, and then realizing, oh, I'm actually not. I am struggling. I am very much in survival mode. I think that's the part nobody really talks about: the collapse after the collapse of a situation, you know? I believe there's this middle space women don't get prepared for. You're alive, you're functioning, you're told to be grateful, you're moving through your days, but you simply don't recognize yourself. And for me, it was literally the quiet moments that made the truth impossible to ignore. I had no distractions. I had no lifestyle upgrades. I had no cities to outrun myself with. It was just me, my puppy, my parents in this bedroom in Michigan, and a life that did not feel like mine. So that's when identity, safety, and self trust for me really became the real work that I had to do. And it hit me. Survival mode wasn't the same as living. I had survived cancer, but I hadn't rebuilt who I was. And that was the first time that I had to slow down enough to hear my actual life speaking back to me. And it was saying, you don't know yourself outside of survival, but you are about to mess around and find out. So that's when I learned those two things that shifted everything for me. I believe most women overlook these because they're waiting for life to get better before they rebuild. But the rebuild already started, little did I know. The rebuild starts when the collapse happens. My rebuild didn't start when I felt strong again. It didn't start when life smoothed out. It didn't start when things started to make sense. My rebuild started when everything familiar collapsed. So I realized moving home after what should have been my best year yet, losing the version of me I thought I needed to be, facing myself without the image or the busyness. Those were really the moments where I finally met myself. So I say joy rebuilt me, not discipline. And here's the second thing: it wasn't discipline that brought me back. It wasn't pressure that brought me back. And it wasn't productivity. It was joy. The small, quiet things, the pieces of myself I forgot, the things that made me feel like me again, being home literally helped me remember. Like the willow tree from my childhood backyard. I walk past willow trees at the park all the time now, and something about them reconnects me. I feel so at home. And being outdoors again, moving slowly, letting life be gentle with me, that woke me up in parts that I hadn't known were lost. So discipline shapes you, but joy restores you. And I needed restoration way more than I needed any form of structure. So if you're in like your own rebuild right now, don't wait for the better season. Your rebuild started the moment that life honestly fell apart. And that's the version of you you're trying to get back. She's in the little joys, the ones that feel too simple to matter, but they're the ones that make you whole again. Those micro mini moments of joy that you can experience that reconnect you with who you are, and quite honestly, that help bring you back home to yourself. So don't overlook the joys. Take time, write out what used to make you feel good. Cardi, what is it? You want to talk about joy? Well, joy for Cardi is a bone and a ball and playing fetch. So, but take out time to write those things out for yourself. Be honest with yourself. I keep saying that, I think, in every video, but honesty is the way that you heal. It's the way to your true identity. It's the way that you're able to truly reconnect with who you are when you spend time understanding and learning the makings of you. And in the most interesting way, that has literally been me coming back home after trauma every single time to reconnect with myself. And I'll be honest, this reconnection feels so different because I feel like now I have the foundation. I know who I am. I'm embracing who I am now. So when the storm hits, if something else were to happen that feels like it's kind of knocking the wind out of my sail, I won't crumble. I won't crumble because I have this level of awareness now. Whereas I didn't have this level, I didn't have that foundation that was clear. But now I got a foundation. So even if a wall comes down, maybe two, hopefully not all four, I still have a foundation. And it is so crazy. I can say this, don't underestimate joy. Don't underestimate joy, because joy, not only is it like deeply rooted, but when you think about the things that were a part of the past version of you, because so often we want to go back to who we were, and depending on who we were, life may have been great and fantastic, but if who you was someone that operated out of survival mode, we really want to shift that so who you're becoming and what you're building on isn't built on that past foundation of that level of trauma, that past foundation of like bondage, that past foundation of survival mode and being exhausted and people pleasing and so many other things, perfectionism, overthinking, all of those things, right? And I'm not saying that they all just go away, but when you intentionally start to connect the little micro moments that brought you joy, you can start incorporating that into the healed version of you, the moving forward version of you. And that version of you is where your real, true identity lies. That's the authenticity of you. And build from her, build from there. And just watch things start to flourish, watch things start to come together. You get your girl, when you get that joy back, I'm telling you. And sometimes it shocks me, because the nature of trauma is so deep. How can I feel this after my world was rocked upside down for not just a season, for years? And I felt like I was left to pick up these pieces, the residue of cancer. But it wasn't just the residue of cancer I was picking up. I was picking up the residue of cancer and survival mode, cancer and trauma, cancer and people pleasing, cancer and inner child issues. Cancer, and when that little girl thought that, she had to go the mile to make others happy. Cancer and learning what I loved. Cancer and having the joys of life. Cancer and reconnecting with who I am now because I've been able to spend time doing that. So it's like such a hodgepodge of character traits, identity traits, emotions, feeling, reconnecting. It's like it almost feels like you're building a whole new you. But in the sense, I keep using this term of like wiping the debris off, right? Like you were this house, and you may hear me use house analogies often, but you were this house, and before the tree came crumbling down and broke it up to all these little pieces, you're moving debris out of the way now to just see like, okay, well, where's the foundation? Where is who I was? Where is my character? Where is my identity? Where is my joy? So, hey, keep doing the work because it's worth it. And if you're new here, I'm Renee. I create conversations that help you experience joy after trauma, after you've had a major identity shift, a major life situation. I love holding this space with y'all so much. We are growing and building this community. Please meet me in the comments. Let me know your thoughts if anything resonated with you. I will be there. I look forward to more conversations like this. And until the next time, I hope you take great care of yourself, and we will chat soon. All right. Peace.